Welcome once again to Musings by Danon. Today's video was sponsored by longtime Patreon supporter Waffles. Huge thanks to Waffles and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Waffles asked that I watch a fairly recent anime and give my thoughts about it. Which anime? Vivi, Flourite Eyes song. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Vivi aired spring of 2021, about 2.5 years ago. At the time, many content creators praised it for how good of a show it was. And they were right. The story, characters, animation, plot, music, animation, fight scenes, this is a gorgeous anime. But I still found it hard to get through. Not because it was bad, of course, but because it was heavy. While watching it, I was reminded of two other shows, but I'll get to those in a minute. Let me explain the plot. AI has finally wiped out humanity. The opening several minutes of Vivi show various AIs, some humanoid, others not, brutally murdering humans. A scientist, at least he's wearing a lab coat, sends a new, uncorrupted AI back in time a century ago. This AI, named Matsumoto, tracks down Vivi and tries to convince her that the world will end in a century unless she helps stop certain upcoming events. The problem is, Vivi is a singing AI. Her chosen purpose is to sing and bring people joy from her songs. Gonna pause right there. AIs struggled for years until developers figured out the problem. By trying to make AIs good at everything, they wound up being overwhelmed and unable to function. Until one day, someone figured out that AIs need a specific purpose. Vivi was the first one born with a purpose, spreading happiness through her voice. Every day, she strives to pour her heart into her performances, but what is heart to an AI? That is the ongoing theme of Vivi. What is heart to an AI? I mentioned earlier how I was reminded of two other shows while watching Vivi. The first, of course, is Ghost in the Shell, which asks the opposite question. At what point does a cyborg cease being human? Many times throughout the series, Motoko Kusanagi questions her humanity. Through quiet contemplation and reflection, she eventually comes to terms with herself being nothing more than a brain. After all, she has a ghost. But what does it mean when an android, basically an advanced AI, also has a ghost? What does that make her? The other show that came to mind as I watched Vivi was 12 Monkeys. If you haven't seen this classic 90s science fiction film, the story follows Bruce Willis as he's sent back in time to prevent a deadly plague that nearly wipes out humanity. But does the end of 12 Monkeys match the end of Vivi, Flourite Eyes song? Does Vivi prevent the eradication of humanity? Or is it inevitable that humanity will be destroyed by something it created? If you want to know, you'll have to watch it yourself. The largest conflict in Vivi is actually between her and the AI sent back in time to help her stop the upcoming apocalypse, Matsumoto. At first, Vivi thinks that Matsumoto is just a lying virus. She even goes in for maintenance to see if she's been infected. She also doesn't believe that he could possibly be from the future. But when Matsumoto starts to show her things that are soon coming true, maybe there is a modicum of truth to what he says. Even when Vivi starts to believe him, they still argue about how to resolve issues. Matsumoto is very much a big picture AI. He doesn't care if a few humans die now and then. So long as humanity isn't wiped out, it's fine. But Vivi doesn't want anyone to die. After all, if a human is dead, how can they hear her sing? Overall, I really enjoyed this show, but it was a lot heavier than I was expecting. So if you're wanting a fun, lighthearted anime, look elsewhere. If you want a very good, very interesting show, be sure to watch Vivi, Flourite Eyes song on Crunchyroll. At least they have the rights for it in the US. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. There are several tiers to choose from. You can pick an anime or manga for me to do a video about, or you can join our monthly manga club. I also want to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Josh, Sean, Pob Zombie, Mark, Alex, Daniel, Steve, Kevin, Cookie, Borgie, Jake, Exiled Rogue, Manassas, Nazman, Kyo, Oolong, and Pedro. You guys are awesome. I post anime or manga videos often, or you can click here to watch additional videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Musings by Danon.